Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is a very special video for me because I am officially a mother, and here's my little baby girl that I worked so hard to get. And this has been the most rewarding and beautiful, magical, painful experience of my life, and I wouldn't have had it any other way, honestly. It taught me so much, and I'm truly grateful, and I'm here to tell you guys how my birth went because it was crazy. It was so wild. Let's get into it. Firstly, how it started was the night before I went into labor. Actually, that week, my midwife had advised my husband to do a perineal massage. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but it's where he like sticks 2 fingers into my vagina and he stretches the skin. So it actually helps prevent tearing. And she said you should do this a couple times throughout the week because I was most likely gonna go into labor soon. So I had been avoiding it because I thought it was weird and awkward, and I just felt like, how am I gonna lay there and just have him stretching my skin? What the fuck? And then finally on the 4th, I told him that night, I was like, babe, let's just do it and get it over with. I can go into labor any day. And he was like, all right, fine. So I showered, I got on the bed, and I laid there super awkward, and he was like stretching my skin, and then finally we like loosened up and it wasn't so weird. I told him while he was doing it, I was like, babe, just like go a little farther in there and see if you can feel like a head or anything in there, you know? So he did, and he was stretching, and he was like, yeah, I think I feel something up there or whatever. So yeah, we did that, we were done, went to bed around 1:30, and at 4 a.m. on the dot, I got woken up with my hand on my stomach, wide awake with like intense period cramps. And I had known from all the research I had done that period cramps were usually a sign of going into labor, but it was only for maybe a minute, so I wasn't too sure, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay awake and see if it happens again. So I stayed awake and I started Googling, and exactly 30 minutes later at 4:30, it happened again. I was like, okay, I think these are contractions. So I rolled over and I told my husband, I was like, babe, I think I'm having contractions. And he goes, yeah, honey, just lay down and go back to sleep. I was like, okay, great, honey, thank you. I went back on my phone and started Googling again, and then it happened again at 5 o'clock, another 30 minutes later. So I woke Mike up again, and I told him, I was like, babe, we need to like call the midwife, I think, because I think it's happening. So I called the midwife, and she's like, oh, you know, it could be, but you never know. She goes, call me back when the contractions are 4 minutes apart. Okay, this is at 5 o'clock when I called her. I called her back 1 hour later, and my contractions had now sped up to being 3 minutes and 12 seconds apart. And so she's like, all right, I'm heading over. I'll be there soon. So she got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she checked my cervix, and I was 1 centimeter dilated. So I had showered, washed my hair, breathed through the contractions. They weren't that bad. But then she was like, my shift is over. There's gonna be another midwife that's gonna come meet you in about an hour, and I will relay the information over to her, and she will know everything and help you. So from that hour of her leaving and waiting for the next midwife, my contractions really kicked in. My doula finally got there, and she was godsend. Like, she was amazing. She immediately kicked into action, giving me back massages, helping me breathe through things, and they got so intense. I started vomiting. I was just puking nonstop, puking. And then I started crying because I was like, oh my God, this is really intense, because it was just going so fast. And then while I was puking, blood started coming out of my vagina, and I just started bleeding all over the floor. And obviously now that I look back at it, that was my cervix opening very fast. And I don't know if it was ripping or what, but just like so much blood started coming out of my vagina. No water broke. And so I went and sat on the toilet, and I wiped, and my husband was standing there, and he starts like gagging. He's like, because he could not handle like poop or blood, which was really funny. I'm there breathing through an intense contraction, and he's like dying on the other end of the bathroom. And then he starts to panic, and he's like, oh my God, who do we call? Blah, blah, blah. Freaking out, like, where's the midwife? And I was like, babe, the baby's not coming yet. Calm down. It's not that big of a deal. Like, he was so stressed. And then finally, the midwife gets there, the second midwife, and she checks my cervix, and she's like, okay, you are actually 3 centimeters. Now we can go to the hospital. And this is at around 10 o'clock when she got to my house. So we pack all my things. I have like 3 hospital bags. I have all this stuff that I planned for having a long stay at the hospital. And by the way, this day is the worst weather in 70 years in Holland. It is the stormiest, so much rain, and the wind is out of control. They advised everyone to stay inside, but not us. I was in labor and had to walk to the car in the rain, and then we had to drive to the hospital. So we all head there, we all head to the car, and then my midwife is like, oh, I have 2 other clients that I need to go see. I will meet you at the hospital, because I was only 3 centimeters, and she thought it would be a while, you know, before anything goes down. So she goes and checks on 2 other clients, and me me, Mick, and my doula head to the hospital. And in the car, I'm not joking, my contractions kicked in so motherfucking hard. I was dying. I was holding the oh shit handle and I was breathing, screaming in the car. And then as we get to the hospital, what does my husband do? Misses the fucking exit. So then we gotta go down and around through all this construction. There's like men in the street telling us to stop. I'm screaming at my husband like, fucking tell them I'm in labor. Fuck this, you're not gonna get pulled over a ticket or whatever. And I'm literally screaming. So he just finally gets to the hospital. Felt like forever. He pulls up on the side of the street. He runs inside, gets me a wheelchair. And I'm just at this point, like I am screaming. I'm like, there is no way I'm gonna be able to do this natural. Because I forgot to mention, my entire plan was to do this natural. And I really thought I was gonna do it too. And then like it got so intense, and so I'm in this damn wheelchair and he's pushing me with some nurses and everything, and we have to go up like the elevator, and everyone was just could see that I was like in labor and shit was going down. So everyone's moving out of the way, panicking, trying to get me to this hospital room. It was literally like the movies, you know, when you see in the movies like the wife coming in and like screaming and like her legs spread, and like that was me, okay? Full on panic mode. We finally get to the room. I get into the room and I'm like, there's no way I can do this natural. So I start screaming at everyone in the hospital, I need an epidural immediately. Like there's no way I can do this naturally. I need it now. And he goes, I'm sorry, ma'am, we can't give you anything, not even medicine, until your midwife is here and advises us to. And I go, what the fuck? And so it's only me and my doula. My husband has to go back to the car and park it so he doesn't get towed or a ticket. So he's not even there. So I'm bleeding so much. I'm screaming like I couldn't even control it because I was trying to breathe through the contractions. My body just started screaming. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I was the most uncalm person ever. And my midwife is not there. And I'm literally like, where the fuck is my midwife? Why is she not here? Because she thought I was only 3 centimeters and it was gonna be a while. She went to go see other 2 people. So I'm having my doula call her every 5 seconds, like, where is she? She's like, I'm on my way, I'm coming. So my doula's like, your midwife says you need to get into the tub because I wanted to do a water birth. So I get into this tub, and I'm not joking, I am literally at this point begging for a C-section, epidural, morphine, anything just to take the pain away, because I've had 0 pain meds at this point, literally feeling everything, feeling like I'm dying. Midwife finally gets there, and at this point I can already feel my body pushing the baby out, like the baby is coming. Like I knew that I was not 3 centimeters anymore. I knew that I had very close time till I was going to meet my daughter, because I could just feel, I was not even pushing and my body started pushing her out. So my midwife rushes into the bathtub and she's like, yep, the baby's here. You're more than 10 centimeters. She's already down the birth canal. I can see her hair. You need to start pushing. And I was like, no, I can't push. Like this is too much. Please give me a cesarean. I like just cut the baby out. Put me out. I don't care. I can't do it anymore. And she goes, I'm sorry, it's too late. You can't get any pain medication. You need to start pushing now. And she's checking her heart rate, and her heart rate actually dropped to 120, which is not that bad. It's not like anything super serious, but she was like, I don't want her to drop any lower. You need to start pushing. So I started pushing, and I just realized like I was not going to get any pain medication or anything, and I was for real going to do this natural, which is what I manifested and wanted. So I started breathing and pushing through these awful contractions, and her little head popped out, and she told me, on the next push you're going to meet your baby. And I pushed and I breathed and she came out. And I must say, the worst part of birth is not when she's coming out, not the head coming out, not the body. That didn't hurt, for me at least. The most painful was those last 2 hours of those awful contractions. Like I was having less than 60 seconds between each contraction, and sometimes even between like when I was supposed to be having my breaks, I had like mini contractions, which it was constantly going. So it was no breaks for me. And then when she was actually coming down the birth canal, it wasn't painful. And I actually had a 2nd-degree tear, which is not that bad. It's pretty common in most vaginal births, but I didn't feel it at all. It was not painful when her head came out. It wasn't painful when her body came out. And as soon as the baby comes out, all the contractions, all the pain goes away. It's incredible. And she pulled her out and she came out of the water and she's out of my belly, and it took a little bit for her to start crying, but I guess that's normal. She came out like really purple, which is also normal too. And then she started crying, and then it was just like, it was the most magical and beautiful experience. Immediately after she came out, my body was flooded with happy hormones and just all this incredible amount of adrenaline. Like I had so much adrenaline, I could have ran a marathon. I'm not joking. Once I got out of the bathtub, I was like running around with blood pouring out of my vagina, and I was trying to take pictures of Mick and the baby and just everything. And they were like, whoa girl, you literally just gave birth. Get back in your bed. So I did. And from that day forward, for like the next 4 days, I had insane amount of adrenaline and I just couldn't sleep. Even when we were supposed to sleep, I couldn't sleep. And it was just the most beautiful, amazing, incredible experience of my life. And when I look back at it, I would do it over a million times. I'm not joking. The birth experience, like especially when that last 2 pushes, when her head came out and when she actually came out of my body, I closed my eyes and I feel like my soul left my body. I can't even explain what I went through. Everything went black and calm. I couldn't hear anything and I was just focused on getting the baby out, and it's like my soul left my body. Something magical happened and then she came out and I felt no pain. It was so weird and crazy and beautiful, and the woman's body is fucking incredible. And if any man ever had to go through birth, our rights would be so different, what we get for giving birth, because there's no way in hell a man could go through that. No freaking way. And now that I did an all-natural birth, I did all that pain-free, I keep bragging and telling my husband, I'm a warrior, I'm a superwoman. If I can do that, I can do anything. I think the only pain that must be worse than all-natural labor must be dying. I can't think of anything worse. Breaking a bone, easy peasy. There's a lot you can go through if you go through labor, medicine free. But it was so amazing and beautiful, and I would do it over 1 million times to meet her. I told my husband already, I was like, I already want to have another baby and give her a sibling. But it's the most beautiful and rewarding experience, and she's just so precious. And she's actually really tiny. She was born at 12:06 p.m. So actually it was 1 hour after I arrived to the hospital. I got to the hospital at 11 and she was out by 12:06, and she was 3.3 kilos, which is 7.2 pounds, which is a tiny little girl. All the clothes we fit her, none of them fit. I have 3 little onesies that were preemie sizes from Nike, and I didn't think they were gonna fit her. I thought they were way too small, and those are the only ones that fit her. All the other clothes I have her in she's just swimming in them. But that's okay. She's such a good baby. And my doula, actually, she says that she's a Buddha baby because she's so zen and she's so calm. Like, she only cries when she's ready for food, and even then it's like a fake cry. It's like the only time that she's had a full-blown meltdown was when she was constipated, and that happened to her twice. And I ended up figuring out that we had to change the formula to goat's milk because she was just too constipated from the cow's milk formula. It was not good for her belly. And as soon as we changed the formula, her belly's been good. It's been amazing. It's been so beautiful to see Mick as a dad too. He's just taken on this amazing father role. He's very protective of her, a little bit too protective. Just seeing him as a dad has been really great. And he was so supportive in that labor room and when I was giving birth and just everything. I thought for sure he was gonna pass out if he saw her head coming out of my vagina, but he didn't. He was very supportive and he filmed the whole thing, and it was great. I was really worried because he has a very bad gag reflex for like anything, and I thought for sure he was gonna like hit the ground, but he didn't. He was really good, and he's been the best daddy and so supportive, and she's been the best baby ever. And I really feel like she looks like a perfect mix of Mick and me. She has his nose, she has my mouth. We're not sure about the eyes yet because we can't really tell whose eyes it is. She has daddy's ears, she has my hair, she has daddy's hands and feet, and she's just perfect, and I love her so much. I'm so happy. Being a mom has been the most rewarding, amazing thing of my life, and it's only been 1 week and 2 days. And it's crazy how amazing it's been. I feel like it's transformed me. I can't imagine how I went 35 years without being a mom or experiencing this. Like, it kind of makes me sad. I wish I would have done it sooner, but I couldn't, obviously, because I had infertility and it took me this long. But obviously God only gives you something you can handle when it's time. So obviously I should have waited till I was 35 to be your mama. But I want to have so many babies. And I feel like I've been so blessed with, like, my pregnancy was really easy other than the first trimester. We're not going to talk about that, but for the rest of it, it was really easy for me. And then the newborn phase has been easy, and delivery and labor was really easy. It was intense and fast. It was easy, and my doula, my midwife, said it was actually better that it was so fast for me rather than being, 2 days long. So I'm grateful for that. And they did warn me. They said your next baby will probably be faster, and I'm like I can't imagine. But now I feel like a warrior. I'm like, I can just do a home birth. Fuck it, I'll just give birth here. Why even go to the hospital? But that hospital tub that I was in was really nice. And also, you don't think about it, the warmth from the water is like a natural pain reliever. I just felt like I was floating. I didn't feel like I was laying on my back. And then also the warmth from the water softens your skin down there and makes tearing less likely. And I did tear, but it was only a secondary tear. I didn't feel anything. I haven't been in any pain afterwards, and I only had 4 stitches. So, I mean, I've been up and around, moving, doing things. We took her out on the 5th day and went walking and stuff, went to the beach. And it's been good. It's been really good and easy so far, and I'm so grateful. I have such a good baby, and she's so pretty. Let's show the camera your face. Can you see? You look like mama. Little squish baby. She is my pride and joy. She changed me forever. And I'm so grateful to be a mom. You know, going through infertility and struggling to get pregnant for so long, for 5 years, and just everything that we went through. I obviously, when you go through infertility, you don't know if you're gonna have a baby. And I was very blessed and lucky to have been able to have a child since I only had one egg. But I am grateful to have gone through that experience because it really taught me the meaning of life and appreciating everything, every small milestone. I'm not joking. When my boobs started leaking milk, I appreciate that. Every small milestone in my pregnancy, I was just elated and celebrating and happy about everything. And some people just don't even think twice about it because they got pregnant so easily, but I appreciated everything. And now that I have her, it's even more. I appreciate everything with her, and I will tell her for the rest of her life how much of a miracle she was and how special and how grateful we are to have her. And I'm just so blessed, and I hope that this video helps you guys if you are looking at having a natural birth to not be so scared. It's obviously painful. It fucking hurts giving birth. It really does. But your body is meant for it, and your body releases all these weird hormones and stuff to like get you through it. And even though I thought I couldn't do it, I did it. And immediately after, the second after she came out, I was like, I can do this again. Let's fucking go. I would do it over a million times. I hope you guys enjoyed this birth video and my little girl, and all my videos are gonna be about being a mom now and that whole journey. And it's just been so good. And she's been so good. And look at her. She's just been so peaceful this whole video, not even moving, just chilling. So I hope you guys like this video. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for new stuff. I don't even know what's gonna come next. Newborn life has been crazy, but I will put out another video soon, I promise. And thank you for watching. Bye.